Welcome to the Ryan Holtz Show. On this show, you can expect the latest, the greatest, and the best curated content on business, marketing, automotive, and lifestyle. Sit back, put in your earplugs, and let's enjoy the ride. Now, as always, I want to make sure you get the best in content that will help you monster your goals, both personally and professionally. I want to keep this conversation going, so please check me out on Twitter, Instagram, and Periscope at Ryan Holtz1. And then go over to facebook.com/Ryan Holtz Marketing, and we can chat there too. I also want you to visit www.ryanholtz.ca, as this will be where I put my almighty beloved show notes. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I am proud to bring you the Ryan Holtz Show. Let the beat drop.
Oscars award goes to the Oscars award goes to the Oscars awards go to the Lala. Oops, my bad. Yo, what's up, Warren Beatty? Hey man, you pulled a Steve Harvey. We got to give you a lot of props and just roll with the punches. But I love it. Everybody, welcome to episode 9 of the Ryan Holtz Show podcast. Boom dizzle, and boom dizzle. Right now, I am looking out the window into a snowy winter wonderland in the middle of these beautiful Rocky Mountains that us Canadians are so blessed to have in our beautiful country. And this episode today, we are talking about how grandma would want us to button up and, talk about being of service to our craft and stop selling the unsellable. But first point is Mr. Ali, who won Best Supporting Actor, I think, for the movie The Moonlight, gave one hell of a speech yesterday. And he was referencing his acting coaches and the impact they've had on his career. And he basically said, we must be of service to our craft. We must be of service to the character. And when he was talking about that and he said that statement, I really just kind of thought about it. And I said, that statement alone is true in all aspects of life. So I think that, we really have to take that into consideration. Now, whether you're a plumber, whether you're a business owner, whether you are a chef, whether you are making coffees at the Tim Hortons drive-thru, whether you're a lawyer, a doctor, a mummy blogger, whatever it is that you do, that you put your time, energy, soul, commitment, and heart into, ask yourself the question, am I being of service to my craft? It's a very humble way of saying it's not about you. It never was about you. And, that famous quote, work for your last name and not your first name is extremely important. And I think in today's world, when we talk about contextual marketing and personalization, everybody wants the one-on-one interaction. And I mean, with the phones, with the technology, with the internet, we're really not getting that one-on-one interaction, face-to-face, voice-to-voice. It's all coming through one of the almighty social networks or texting or WhatsApping or Facebook messaging, and I think is so, so important. So let's continue on with the show. Again, thanks so much for listening. We've had a ton of great feedback. The downloads on the show has been absolutely fantastic. And it's kind of, it's kind of fun to do this. I wanted to keep to a schedule, as we all know, and I have not done that for the podcast, but it has been extremely busy. The last month since I've loaded one of these episodes in, has been absolutely chaotic. I've literally been in multiple cities across the country, speaking at all kinds of events, and Ryan Holtz Marketing is alive and thriving, and I have my clients and my support network to thank for that. So thank you so much. So back to Mr. Ali's speech, and if you haven't heard it, please go on Google and just Google Moonlight actor Oscar speech or something like that, and it will come up. But his speech is so eloquent, so articulate, and all he talks about is complete humility and complete being of service to his craft. And the acting coaches said most actors and actresses, They don't make it because they never understood that it wasn't about them. It was always about the character that they're playing. And anybody who's living and breathing right now, my friends, we are all in a movie. Life is a big, big movie. And it's full of characters. It's full of content. It's full of context. There's many macro issues. There's many micro issues. Human beings by trade usually get slipped up on the micro issues. If you don't understand what a micro issue would be, a micro issue could be a flat tire on your vehicle ruins your day. The macro issue is you have the day. You woke up. You have how many hours in the day to absolutely kill that day, and you got hopped up because you got a flat tire. That's a micro issue. And to be honest, there's a lot worse problems in the world. So get over the micro issues and stop dominating and keeping your eye on the prize, which is the macro context. Okay? So, with that being said, micro, macro, what do you think? What do you think is more important? Is it the details or is it the lack of the details? The big picture is always easy. Here's my goal, but it's filled with several micro issues, which is how am I going to get to the goal? What am I going to do on a daily basis? What do I have to modify in my life right now to get that goal? And we start thinking about things and it becomes extremely overwhelming and extremely complicated really, really quick. And it should not be that way. I think in business and in life, what I've really, really started to understand is the goal is not so much important. I don't really think the goal is important. It's the journey. And it really is the hustle. It's the journey and it's the hustle. And it's, we have all these social platforms. And even I look at my own social media and I'm like, a lot of people ask me questions like, Ryan, you're not doing any of these mastermind classes. You're not doing online webinars. You're not getting people to sign up on your email list. You're not doing any of that stuff. Why? And I say, my response always is because everybody else is. And how do I even stand out and be unique? And, if I'm just another marketing person who wants you to sign up for my mastermind class, it's just boring. It does not separate me from the pack. But what I really try to focus on with my social media is one-to-one interactions. So a lot of the magic on my social media doesn't happen in comments or likes. It literally happens in direct message. It happens with me talking to people talking back to me. I have tons of conversations. I'm proud to say that, hey, in my inbox every day, non-spam emails, I'm getting 200 to 400 emails from all kinds of people with all kinds of topics and ideas and things like that. And just having a lot of dialogue, but more on the one-to-one, the relationship building. And in 2017, if you're in business, you better start thinking about inbound marketing because nobody wants to see one of those fucking ads. Everybody I don't want to wake up and see a fucking ad. I got the smartphone. I wake up. I'm on my toilet. We're spending a lot of time there. I got this dirty phone in my hands because I'm using it in the washrooms, and I don't want to see ads. So as a marketing person, we have to understand that. We have to acknowledge that. We have to acknowledge what the people want, how they want to see it or hear it or touch it or smell it, and then deliver that to them. So again, micro and macro issues, content and context, okay? So, Mr. Ali, Moonlight, congratulations on your win, brother. You're very right. How are you being a service to your craft? And I would love people to respond to me. So, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, at Ryan Holtz 1. How are you being of service to your craft? Okay? Because I think that's extremely important. The other topic I want to talk about in this podcast is stop trying to sell the unsellable. People talk about this all the time. Stop trying to sell the unsellable. Now, I can speak from experience on this because every time I go and do a workshop or I give a talk, I get people that come up afterwards, they ask questions. It's like they want to be sold. I don't want to sell them. And the reason I don't want to sell them is this is not something you can sell. If you're in business and you're looking to do different marketing or you're trying to do different, forms of advertising or you're trying to rejig how you're running your business or you have management issues or you're trying to, tighten up your margins, whatever the issue is, the micro issue, it's really easy to fix. But it has to start with you. So I don't want to sell you on that concept. the clients that I love and the clients that I have are, we got everything handled. We understand where we're at. We understand where we're trying to go. We want to have a great relationship with you, Ryan. We want to push forward. And there's no selling there. That is, I'm going to hire you because you have a certain skill set, and we are going to work together because I feel that we have the same vision. I do not want to sell the unsellable. It's not worth the time. It's not worth the energy. It's not worth the headaches. And, the reality is, business ownership is not for everybody. A lot of people that want to be sold, or they're skeptical, or they're, still saying things like, hey, this is the way we've always been doing it. Either they're currently not in business, or they're probably going down that road in the next few years anyway. So I don't want to be on that train. So I'm going to take the train where it has all the people on there that's saying, we understand what's going on in the world. We understand that this is a huge macro change. The change, if everybody's not aware, is simply in how we're communicating. Wow, it's revolutionary what's happening right now. And I hope everybody really has a good grasp on exactly what that means. So I like to try to take a little bit of feedback I get on the podcast. The last episode, what we talked about the importance of feet. And some of the response I did get, and again, it's kind of interesting, but I totally get why, and I suspected this was going to happen. But as soon as people, heard about the feet, so I did get a few public comments, but most of the feedback came via direct message. And I don't know if they just didn't want to expose themselves, but I got highly, highly curated, feedback about the importance of feet. So, and even a few dudes, they're going out of their way to say that they took an hour out of their day to take care of their feet and whatnot. But either way, it drummed up a ton of conversation there. So, episode 10 and 11, I'm really looking forward to on the podcast. I've lined up some really good interviews with people. The podcast, I really want to have a lot of interviews on, because I feel that interview style format really kind of helps to generate engagement and conversation. And as much as I think that people love to hear my beautiful voice as much as I love to hear my own beautiful voice, I don't know that that's necessarily the case. But to be quite honest, I do a lot of talking all day long. So sometimes I try to minimize how much I'm talking, and that's why I do love interviews, because the person you're interviewing, they share so much different insights, so much different value. So again, I got a couple great interviews lined up. Very excited about that. And I do have one issue that I'm kind of struggling with. I've had numerous companies reach out to sponsor the show, mostly in the automotive sector. Just because we are getting a lot of dealer principals, general managers, dealership owners that are tuning into the show. But again, I don't want to make this about advertising. I want to make it about just great content, having fun, and a complete no guideline podcast. This is just Ryan talking to you, hoping that you're going to tell a friend, they're going to tell a friend, that friend is going to tell another friend, and you're going to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. And that's really what this is all about. So we are sitting at episode 9 of the Ryan Holtz Show. I'm having a ton of fun with this. So I want to pretend for 20 seconds that however you're listening to this podcast, whether it's in your earphones, whether it's in your car, whether it's at the gym, whether it's while you're getting your pedicure, that we're sitting side by side. Now, when I sit side by side with somebody, ever since I was a little kid, I've always been fascinated with, why do people do what they do when they do it? Now, people nowadays, they find it so hard to be transparent and express themselves. And I use this one word, and this one word is an absolute killer. And every time I hear this word or I see the demonstration of this word, it makes me cringe, because I think this word is an oxymoron, and it really is opposite of what it actually, the illusion is behind it, okay? Now, This word, are you ready? Is called safe. Did you hear the crickets? Safe. Now, safe is such an illusion. Safe could be 9 to 5. Safe could not be trying something different. Safe could be doing what you've always been doing. Safe could be routine. Safe could be completely boring, non-energized, safe. And nothing great in the world has came without risk and lack of safety. That is the reality. But I hear this word and I see this word being done by so many different individuals who are absolutely remarkable, by the way, absolutely extraordinary, but they play it safe. And when you play it safe all the time, I think the illusion is that things like this pop into your head. Secure, responsible. This is the way I probably should be doing it. This is the way I ought to be doing it. Given my current situation, this is probably the best course of action. So you're selling yourself on all these reasons about why it's safe. But I can tell you, there's nothing safe about being safe. Safe usually means you're kind of standing in the same place. Now, if there was a huge windstorm and you're not moving, it's pretty damn apparent that you are going to get knocked side to side or back to back because you are not running in any kind of force at all. You're standing there basically like a sore thumb and just an easy target ready to be pushed over. So how many people listening right now are playing it safe? And how many people completely disagree with my version of what safe really means and why you're playing it safe? And then how many people are just straight up scared and won't comment or give feedback because they're still playing it safe? But my friends, family, colleagues, homies, fellow listeners, fellow entrepreneurs, fellow human beings, what has safe ever got you in your life? It's only when you start chopping down that new grass or that new territory, things start feeling a little weird, the hair on the back of your neck starts standing up a little bit, but then you start getting the magic. Complete and utter magic. Now, I'm a marketer. I own a marketing agency. I'm an entrepreneur. But at the end of the day, people would say, well, a marketing company, all they do is help other companies to sell their shit. Now, if that's all we do, that's kind of boring. But here's the reality. Marketing is all about people. Now, what good marketing does is basically illuminate how somebody's product or service can better somebody's life. Now, you can't illuminate a message to a customer, client, or guest unless you know what the client, customer, or guest actually is wanting or actually needs. And that's the context. So everybody talks about great content, and absolutely, but great content's only going to come if you know what the content, if you know what kind of context you're surrounding the content by, because the content has to reinforce the context. And if the context isn't there, the content will never ever get delivered. And that's something that I think everybody needs to think about. So, I really got to leave it there. I think that 2017, we're sitting in February, or almost 2 months knocked down. Think about how fast the time goes. I want to see people not play it safe. I want to see them be remarkable. I want to see them take some risks. And man, I'm telling you, even if you get totally messed up when you step out of the wheel well and you get blown up, meaning just annihilated when you're taking that risk, when you get up, you are going to feel so damn good that you even tried. And it's going to set you up for another situation that's probably going to pay off in spades. So don't think that, you come out of the gate and you're going to get the first win. Sometimes it takes a couple losses on the board before you get that win that you really have been looking for. It's 19 minutes, like 57 seconds that I've been talking right now prior to the intro or outro of the Ryan Holtz Show. But I'm telling you guys, I'm going to end it right here. I don't want you to play it safe. I want to make sure that you understand the context and the content. Okay? And in my man of the the words of Mr. Ali, who won the best supporting actor for Moonlight. What are you doing to be of service to your own craft, and how are you documenting your journey on Picasso's favorite blank canvas? And that's where we are going to end it. As always, this has been episode 9 of the Ryan Holtz Show. Please follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, Periscope at Ryan Holtz 1. The almighty show notes will be on ryanholtz.ca. If you've enjoyed this program today or this episode, please tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend so they tell a friend, and share it on all your social media. And if you enjoyed it, please rate the podcast in the Apple or Google Play Store. I would really appreciate that. This has been an amazing episode with some amazing food. The Ryan Holtz Show is over and out. Boom,